All right, Coach. A short week here for the Rail Splitters as you don't have a midweek game. But let's first take a look back to this past weekend. You win your fifth straight game. One of the more dominant performances of the year, a 115-84 victory over Newberry. Tremendous offensive performance, season high in points, season high in field goal percentage. So how did you reflect back on that game?
I thought offensively, we were really good. I thought we prioritized trying to play together, and I think we've had growth in there, and guys are certainly, I think, more committed to that, understanding the identity of who we are when we're the best possible version of ourselves, and trying to play to that. And there's no question, every group, but maybe in particular this group, it's when we're collective in what we're doing, and a lot of it is guys getting more comfortable with one another, learning to trust one another, learning how to complement one another. I think all that is vital when you're trying to play offense the way we do, the pace and everything else, and the reads. And I think we've talked all year about make the next right basketball play and make the next right play, and guys are understanding the reads better when they do drive it, and what's the appropriate play, or if they're catching it, what's the appropriate play. And there's less east-west, less stagnant offense, less. We hadn't been like this historically, but probably way too many possessions early in the year where spotlight goes on one guy, other four guys just stand around. That guy just takes a horrible early shot in the horrible early contested shot early in the shot clock. So we've had growth. I thought certainly we played better kind of each game there, but it's always about recommitting yourself to those things, and there's certainly still areas offensively we can be better in. But I thought our offense certainly won us the game on Saturday.
48% shooting or better, and 80 points or more in 4 straight games. Other than just that kind of experience of playing together and kind of going through those early season growing pains, what do you think has really kind of put this offense to the level that's more sustainable?
Well, I think we're just being more aggressive. I think we're understanding the reads. I think we're playing faster. I think we're doing a better job of understanding the reads while playing fast, what we need to do, what we're looking for, and then again, just trying to simplify it down, just make the next right play. And we've had guys, we've been at home here these 4 games, and guys have, always invariably one guy, I think, each game, and sometimes it's been more well distributed, but, Alex hits 8 threes against Newberry. Julius, I think, made 5 against Kentucky Wesleyan. Wingate was a little more well dispersed. But, we've had some guys come in and shoot the cover off the ball each game. And we do have a lot of guys that can play make and create for each other. It's learning, again, it's understanding rim decisions. And when you get there, what's the right play? If you drive it and there's 2 guys there, then you got to move it on the open guy. If you drive it and there's nobody there, then you should obviously take the shot. And it sounds simple, but when things are happening at lightning speed, and it's a millisecond, they've got to make these quick decisions. Invariably, it's experience that allows you to kind of understand and make the right plays. And we're certainly trying to do what we can to expedite that process with film, etc. But I think we're taking much better care of the ball. That's offensively we've talked about. If you take care of the ball and you discipline your shot selection, you're going to give yourself a chance to score. And I think when you look at it early in the year, turnovers were extremely high, about 17 or 18 a game a lot of times, and that would be, and it was probably equal in possessions where we just settled and took a contested shot early in the shot clock, and that's a recipe for bad offense. And we're getting better at less possessions settling. We're taking better care of the ball, understanding more how to play with one another, and really, again, being aggressive and attacking, but having some poise about it, and creating and being unselfish for each other.
There's not many chances, not many opportunities to get a whole week of preparation in early January, but that's exactly what you've gotten this week. How do you think your team is kind of taking advantage of this 5 straight days or 4 straight days of practice in this case?
Yeah, well, we gave them off Sunday, Monday, and so we didn't do anything. We reconvened Tuesday, and really Tuesday, Wednesday have been about us in areas that we think, from we always are examining ourselves and autopsying each game and where we can grow and what we think we need to do regardless of opponent. And so we spent really 2 days on ourselves, and now we'll kind of turn our attention to obviously doing the things we need to do, hopefully to play well on Saturday, and the challenges that get ready for the as best we can the challenges that Catawba presents, which is many. But we'll certainly guys. I think hopefully the rest rejuvenate a little bit, and there's still a lot of work to be done. We're nowhere near scratching the surface of how good we can be. There's a lot of areas to clean up. I thought Newberry exposed some things, particularly defensively, that we need to get better at, and we need to get better in a hurry because we have a tremendous challenge on our hands on Saturday.
You talked about that tremendous challenge. Obviously, we'll talk about Catawba here in just a minute, but first, you're really just trying. You talked about this after the game on Saturday. One of the things this team has still not accomplished this year is a quality road win, and that's exactly what you're going to have to get on Saturday. So, what is that? How is that going to be different than what these last 4 games have been at home?
Well, I've always thought, and maybe because we just had veteran good teams, but it's playing on the road is vastly overrated. But because I think it's more important, how you play versus who you play or where you play, right? The most important thing is how you play. But we have not, that's the one thing we haven't done. We haven't gone on the road and beaten a quality team. We've played some quality teams away from here, but we just haven't been able to get over the hump. Anderson we did, and we were really fortunate in that game. I thought Anderson outplayed us on the road, so we could easily be, 1-4 as opposed to 2-3 away from home. It shouldn't matter, but I do think, when you go on the road, and we've been fortunate here. I think we had a 25-game road winning streak, and again, the thing is the same things you emphasize or what's important to winning on the road is the same as it is anywhere, and that's starting with don't beat yourself, right? And so whether that's taking care of the ball, limiting or minimizing transition opportunities for the opponent, no second chance points, being disciplined shot selection, all those things factor into playing well on the road. And then I think it goes into as well, you have to understand when you're playing a really good team, home or away, you're going to get hit, and it really comes back to, can you respond? Are you able to play this thing possession by possession and be steady and overcome the adversity that's going to happen in a game? Because again, you're not going to just come in against a really good team and knock them out in the first 5 minutes. It's going to be a battle. You're going to get hit, and it's how you respond to those things. It's how you respond when hopefully you have a good run. Maybe you get a 6-0, 8-0 little spurt, and how do you respond to that, knowing it's going to be a long game and you got to continue to execute and compete for an entire 40 minutes. Got to have the mental toughness to overcome the adversity that's inherent in a game against a really good team, and you got to be able to perform in adverse circumstances because crowds against you. So again, we haven't shown the ability to do that away from here, and we'll see if we can. It doesn't. You don't know if you can until you do it. But just like I would say, if we were 4-0 on the road or whatever, 5-0 on the road or 0-5 on the road, it really doesn't matter. It's this next opportunity. Hopefully, we're more ready to take advantage of it than we were, the first time, certainly against Aiken, and then obviously Queens. And when those things, I thought in both those games, we didn't do a very good job of those things. You look at our ability to take care of the ball, how we responded, transition, second chance points. I thought we were beat in all those areas. And again, just like at home, the key to winning is figuring out how not to lose, and you can't beat yourself. And I thought in both cases we did enough to beat ourselves and those teams that we played, Aiken, Queens, and certainly Catawba's in the same boat. They don't need any help. You gotta do those things to give yourself just a chance to have be there at the end.
So you already alluded to this. Catawba is one of the best teams. They've been one of the best teams in the Southland Conference this year. 11 of the last 12, won 4 straight by double figures. Obviously, a lot to break down with them. They're really balanced offensively, great offensively in general, and pretty solid defensively. So from a coach's perspective, what are you seeing with the Catawba Indians?
Well, just really good basketball team. Rob's kind of been snake bit with with injuries over the last few years. He's done a great job, he and his staff, recruiting, getting in good players. They've just not been able to be healthy. I think their results have not been probably congruent with who they are as a team. They've been much better than what the results would show. But this year they've stayed healthy. He's got a veteran team. They got great depth. They got great size. They play unbelievably hard. They're far and away the best rebounding team in the league. They're just unbelievable in their effort, and they're relentless on the glass. So it's really across the board. Like you said, they're solid defensively. They got Jameel Taylor back, who's a fifth-year senior. Has been, previous couple years before he got hurt last year, one of the best players in the league. Is right back as one of the best players in the league. And then he's buoyed. They got so many guys in that lineup, up and down the lineup, that are contributing. Whether it's Marcel Haskett, who we had here, and Daquan Lilly's a really good player. I mean, Constantine's a guy. Zamanek, who was a good player at Lenore Ryan, is there now. Devin Cooper from Radford. I mean, you go on and on with their roster. McElvain from, I think, Davis and Elkins has really played well. I mean, he had 21 last night and 10. So great depth, great experience, great size, play incredibly hard. Very, very physical, very, very tough. You can't take any possessions off against them on either end of the floor. On the defensive end, they get into you, they compress you full court. They've got great size to shrink the floor. They do a nice job of blocking shots, and like I said, they're head and shoulders the most dominant rebounding team in the league, and particularly on the offensive glass. So we have our work cut out for us in every area, and it's going to take our A game to be competitive. That's for sure.